Welcome back to the Old Vintage Photos channel. Today, let's embark on a fascinating journey through time, exploring the incredible world through rare old photos. The photo was taken in 1933, a daily photo capturing a young Katharine Hepburn and Joel McCrea, the moment the truth about the two began to be revealed. A four-wheeled cycle carriage photographed in 1850 illustrates early experimentation in human-powered transport, bridging the gap between traditional carriages and the birth of modern bicycles. Wreckage of the Messerschmitt Bf-110D bomber flown by Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy, on his failed peace mission to Scotland, 1941. In 1970, the Grateful Dead performed in San Francisco, embodying the psychedelic counterculture with improvisational jams that defined an era of freedom and musical exploration. In Laugh Clown, Laugh, 1928, a young Loretta Young shares a haunting scene with Lon Chaney, capturing the silent era's depth of emotion and artistry. Milkmaid and the Farmhand, Whitby, North Yorkshire, England, late 1800s. A solemn march of Turkish teenagers heading to Gallipoli in 1915, captured during World War I. Their youthful faces contrast sharply with the heavy burden of war. In May 1978, the Dead Boys performed with Divine and Friends at CBGB's in New York, a chaotic night that embodied punk rock's raw defiance. Louis Armstrong and his wife, Lucille, share a happy moment at home, sitting side by side with their trumpets, radiating love, music, and warmth in this intimate portrait. In September 1960, Fidel Castro and Malcolm X met in Harlem, symbolizing a rare intersection of political revolution and the civil rights movement during the tumultuous Cold War era. In 1987, tensions erupted during the filming of Cobra Verde as Klaus Kinski menaced director Werner Herzog, epitomizing their volatile yet legendary creative partnership. Barbara Bochet, photographed in the late 1960s, embodied the glamour of European cinema. Her career bridged Hollywood and Italian genre films, symbolizing transatlantic stardom in a changing cultural era. In 1976, Glywys, workers, many young women, labored on socialist construction projects, captured in striking images blending grit, strength, and the era's propaganda optimism about building the future. In June 1944, a Japanese plane was shot down while attacking the aircraft carrier USS Kit Kan Bay near the Marianas Islands, marking the first dangerous clash between aircraft carriers in the Pacific. The 1907 Christie 20-liter V4 Racer, a technical marvel of early racing, epitomized Edwardian innovation, daring speed, and experimental spirit. In 1998, Sam Elliott and Jeff Bridges were photographed behind the scenes of The Big Lebowski, capturing the free-spirited spirit of a film that would later become a cultural classic. Two Marines clown around, holding up the mushroom cloud of an atomic blast during the 1950s. In May 1957, Elizabeth Taylor radiated glamour in Cannes with husband Mike Todd as they promoted the Oscar-winning epic around the world in 80 days. A young woman wades from the water during the Rolling Stones concert in 1969, capturing the spirit of freedom, spontaneity, and cultural rebellion of the era. In 1939, a dramatic moment unfolded at the U.S.-Mexico border as a man attempted escape to Mexico, only to be pulled back by American authorities under tense circumstances. London, 1966. A secretary types while showing off her contemporary fashion sense. The miniskirt reflects the roaring 60s, when fashion and office culture strongly overlapped. Rita Hayworth in 1948, the goddess of love of Hollywood's golden age. Her dazzling beauty conquered the world, though her inner struggles foreshadowed the fragility behind her legendary aura. This vintage photo captures a young woman lying on the sand, listening to a wireless radio. In 1963, a young Kurt Russell kicked Elvis Presley on screen, an unforgettable scene where Hollywood's future star literally clashed with the king of rock. In the late 1970s, Martin Scorsese tied the knot with Isabella Rossellini, and they spent 4 years together before parting ways in 1983. In 1979, a worker repairs the antenna atop the World Trade Center in New York, an extraordinary image of human daring against the city's vast skyline. Sophia Loren, photographed by Alfred Eisenstadt in 1964, gathers roses in her villa's garden for Life magazine, capturing her timeless beauty at the height of her career. Winston Churchill at the White House during World War II, among journalists and photographers, a moment that reflects transatlantic solidarity during a time of profound global conflict. A woman test drives a 1955 BMW Isetta, a pioneering microcar with front-opening doors that symbolizes the fascination with compact transport in post-war Europe. Cheryl Ladd, radiant in casual attire during the height of the 1970s, embodying the effortless charm and approachable glamour that defined her role in Charlie's Angels. In 1933, at just 5, Shirley Temple posed solemnly. Behind her innocent curls lay Hollywood's plan to exploit a child star amid Depression-era desperation. In 1977, Stevie Nicks performed at Madison Square Garden, her ethereal presence and tambourine rhythms capturing the magic of Fleetwood Mac's golden era on stage. In 1976, Harvey Keitel, Martin Scorsese, and his mother Catherine shared a candid moment on the set of Taxi Driver, a film that redefined American cinema. The USS battleships engulfed in flames during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, a turning point that drew the United States into World War II. A 1914 satirical cover by Otho Cushing for Life magazine, humorously imagining how fashion in the 1950s might appear, blending exaggeration with social commentary. A Native American craftsman makes arrows outside a hide hut, early 1900s. This photograph by Richard Throssell preserves a tradition that was slowly disappearing as America industrialized. In 1946, Ingrid Bergman was photographed in a reflective pose, her elegance and quiet strength embodying the post-war era's search for grace and resilience in Hollywood. A behind-the-scenes look at the original Star Wars series, capturing Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher in the late 1970s, an iconic cultural phenomenon in cinema history. Liverpool Blitz in 1941. Two little sisters courageously saved their teddy bear from rubble in a doll's pram. Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly smiled during a rehearsal for the 28th Academy Awards in March 1956, symbolizing the golden age of elegance in Hollywood. A joyful wedding in Paris in 1930. The groom in a top hat rides a flower-decorated bicycle, while the bride holds flowers and smiles brightly in the crowd. In 1973, Johnny Cash appeared on Sesame Street, blending country music with children's television, showing how cultural icons could bridge generations through music and storytelling. Painted around 1709 in Florence, Giuseppe Maria Crespi Woman, Looking for a Flea depicts everyday life with the authenticity and humanity of Baroque art. Freddie Mercury and Annie Lennox share a candid moment at the 1987 Ivor Novello Awards in London. In 1955, Sophia Loren and Machiko Kyo crossed cultural borders at the Venice Film Festival, their elegance symbolizing cinema's power to unite East and West. Kevin Costner and Madeleine Stowe in Revenge, 1990, a tale of passion and betrayal, captured here in a still radiating both intimacy and the film's dark allure. A harrowing image from Auschwitz reveals the abuse endured by women under Nazi rule, reflecting the systematic dehumanization and exploitation that marked the darkest chapter of the Holocaust. Brooke Shields and Robert Downey Jr. in the 1990s. This candid moment reflects a transitional decade for Hollywood stars balancing fame, reinvention, and personal struggles. Captured by Carl Sutton, this lively 1950s shot shows two women laughing freely as they run downstairs, embodying post-war liberation, carefree spirit, and youthful joy. The RMS Titanic, photographed in the early 1900s before her ill-fated 1912 voyage, symbolized both technological ambition and the fragility of human triumphs. Linda Carter, photographed in the 1970s, exudes timeless grace and strength, foreshadowing her rise as Wonder Woman and an enduring symbol of female empowerment in pop culture. Jungle Pam Hardy, the daring sidekick of racer Jungle Jim, became an icon of 1970s funny car culture. Known for her daring outfits and daredevil spirit, she rocked American racetracks with her irresistible charisma. Chicago 1930. Four couples finally endure a grueling dance marathon. A Depression-era scene that blends despair, endurance, and amusement during America's harsh economic downturn. Crown Prince Wilhelm of Germany reviews troops circa 1915, an iconic moment of royal power during the chaotic years of World War I. A joyful moment between actor Eric Estrada, famed for Chips, and Cassandra Peterson, known as Elvira, blending television heroism with gothic glamour in 1970s to 80s pop culture. In 1972, Jeremiah Johnson was hailed as the finest mountain film. Here, actor Robert Redford stands beside a grizzly during production. On February 23, 1945, Company F, 145th Infantry Regiment, 37th Division, advanced through the Manila General Post Office en route to storm intramurals during the climax of the battle. In 1966, Michael Caine filmed Alfie, a groundbreaking British drama that captured swinging London's spirit and redefined male stardom with its candid portrayal of modern relationships. In 1955, Hollywood's glittering elite gathered at a secretive party, where glamour masked rivalries, whispers, and shocking scandals hidden beneath the dazzling smiles. Clint Eastwood, 6 feet 4 inches star of A Fistful of Dollars, is pictured with Susan Melody, left, Sandra Marshall, center, and Anita McGregor at the Hilton Hotel, 1967. Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford share a candid moment with Eric Idle in 1978, a year when Star Wars reshaped cinema and pop culture forever. Katie Sanduina, an Austrian circus performer, photographed in 1934 at the age of 50, bent steel as a symbol of endurance and strength in European popular culture between the two world wars. Bruce Springsteen rocked the 1970s scene, his raw energy and work ethic turning the boss into America's rock storyteller. In 1945, Pietro Koch, infamous Nazi collaborator in Italy, faced a firing squad. His execution marked justice against brutality during the final collapse of fascism. Nicolas Cage, Ethan Coen, Holly Hunter, and Joel Coen in 1987 for Raising Arizona, a quirky comedy that cemented the Coen brothers' rising cinematic legacy. In 1924 Ohio, 3 young friends excitedly pose next to a primitive car, a symbol of youthful freedom and the wave of automobiles spreading across America. Backstage turns surreal, semi-nude dancers wearing pearls, playing chess before the show, exposing the strange contradictions of showbiz life. 1958. In the 1980s, beach culture exploded with creativity and freedom. This woman rollerblading while standing on a skateboard symbolizes the playful spirit and athletic experimentation of the era. In 1969, the Black Panthers launched free breakfast programs across the U.S., feeding thousands of kids before school. The FBI called it a threat. Vietnam, 1967. An American lieutenant is caught face-to-face with a North Vietnamese female soldier. Innocence and conflict collide, haunting images of youth forced into opposing fates in war. Captured in Vienna, this daring fashion show stunned audiences with bold lingerie designs, symbolizing Europe's cultural shift toward modernity, sensual freedom, and provocative artistic expression. Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash performed together in 1969, combining their folk and country influences. Their collaboration marked a rare combination of voices that would shape American music. September 15, 1896. A staged publicity stunt for the Missouri-Kansas-Texas Railroad, wherein 2 locomotives purposefully collide into each other, goes wrong, and they explode on impact, killing 2 people. Catherine Bach as Daisy Duke, October 1981. The iconic shorts, radiant smile, and confident stance made Daisy Duke an immortal, small-screen sex symbol. In 1981, Marianne Bachmeier fatally shot the man who killed her 7-year-old daughter during his trial. She smuggled a .22 caliber Beretta pistol in her purse and pulled the trigger in the courtroom. Christine McVie, the soulful heart of Fleetwood Mac, captured here in quiet reflection. Her music defined an era of vulnerability, resilience, and timeless rock poetry. Italian actress Stella Carnacina, photographed by Willie Rizzo for Annabella magazine August 1972, enjoys a cool dip in a striped bikini under the summer sun. In 1936, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dazzled Hollywood with unmatched elegance. Their dance routines redefined cinema, embodying glamour, rhythm, and escapism during America's Great Depression. In 1984, Anne Margaret and Treat Williams starred in the television adaptation of A Streetcar Named Desire, directed by John Erman, bringing Tennessee Williams's masterpiece to a new generation of audiences. Two boys running for their lives across infamous Sniper Alley while carrying their dog. Sarajevo, 1995. Kathy Ireland and Elle Macpherson during the peak of their Sports Illustrated swimsuit fame, 1990. A group of 1950s bad girls pose confidently in front of a diner, sporting leather jackets and daring style. They challenged traditional gender norms, symbolizing youthful rebellion and the emerging rock and roll culture. March 11, 1974. Hiru Onoda surrenders in the Philippines after 30 years in hiding in the jungle, a chilling reminder of the lingering darkness of World War II and the enduring faith of humanity. During World War II, German soldiers practiced shooting on firing ranges, reflecting the rigorous training, discipline, and thorough preparation that were the foundation of the Wehrmacht's battlefield effectiveness. Bette Davis, photographed in the early 1930s, exudes sophistication and elegance, traits that helped make her one of Hollywood's greatest stars. ABBA in 1973, glittering in eccentric costumes, yet behind the smiles lurked jealousy, secret affairs, and the ruthless ambition that would soon tear the world's most dazzling pop group apart. A 1938 photograph shows two men moments before execution by Japanese soldiers, capturing the brutality of imperial expansion and the stark realities of wartime occupation in Asia. Madonna performing in her iconic Jean-Paul Gaultier cone bra during the Blonde Ambition Tour, 1990, a defining moment of pop culture challenging fashion, gender, and performance norms. Released in 1967, The Graduate shocked audiences with its boldness. This scene with Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft captured the taboo allure of forbidden desire. Ricardo Montalban and Lana Turner on the set of Latin Lovers, 1953. Their poised elegance captures Hollywood's golden age of glamour and romance in cinema. Jerry Hall and Mick Jagger, photographed by Norman Parkinson in London, July 1981, capturing the glamour and rebellious spirit of rock and fashion's golden era. Vita Garman in the 1980s, captured in a bold pose, reflects the glamour and daring aesthetics of an era defined by vibrant fashion and unapologetic confidence. On stage, Juliette Lewis erupts with raw fury, screaming into the mic, drenched in chaos, embodying rock's dangerous edge and defying Hollywood's expectations. 21 years old, Yves Saint Laurent at Christian Dior's funeral, 1957. In 1970, pioneering designer Pierre Cardin introduced futuristic nurse uniforms in Paris, combining fashion and sci-fi aesthetics, asserting bold innovation. Brigitte Bardot greets Pelé at a charity event in Colombe Stadium, near Paris, March 1971, an iconic meeting of cinema's siren and football's greatest legend. In the 1960s, Steve McQueen, hailed as the King of Cool, embodied effortless rebellion, his motorcycles and style capturing the restless spirit of post-war American youth. In the 1940s, Betty Grable epitomized Hollywood glamour, her iconic image symbolizing wartime hope and becoming one of the most celebrated pin-ups of the era. In 1970, Vietnam battlefield medicine relied on mobile field hospitals, using tents or the MUST system, enabling treatment of wounded soldiers within minutes after helicopter evacuation. A young Jodie Foster in portrait, her bright face and confident eyes reflecting the early years of her burgeoning Hollywood career. In 1984, a helicopter delivered a life-size dinosaur model to the Boston Museum of Science, a striking spectacle blending science, imagination, and urban modernity. In 1987, Italian pop star Sabrina Salerno and British singer Samantha Fox embodied 1980s glamour, uniting two European icons who defined an era of bold music and style. In 1963, a young Bill Clinton met President John F. Kennedy. The brief handshake symbolized generational continuity, linking youthful aspirations with the charismatic leader of the era. In 1939, Marlene Dietrich stunned Hollywood with bold costumes and fearless poses, symbolizing power and allure. Josh Hartnett, Kate Beckinsale, and Ben Affleck on the set of Pearl Harbor, 2001, a film blending wartime tragedy with Hollywood's sweeping romance and heroism. Sir William Rothschild, with his famous horse-drawn carriage in London in the 1890s, showing off his wealth and passion for exotic animals. A cheerful young woman in the 1960s, dressed in bright casual wear. Her playful pose and radiant smile reflect the carefree spirit of post-war youth culture. Russ Meyer's vintage photograph captures a striking performer in bold costume, symbolizing the daring spirit of mid-20th century American underground cinema and its provocative, unapologetic energy. A staged nightclub rehearsal in the late 1950s shows a dramatic altercation. Musicians play on, dancers look uneasy, while the chaotic floor struggle reflects the raw theatrics of vintage entertainment. Emotional moment of farewell in 1967. A girl stands on a fire hydrant to kiss her lover through the bus window, capturing the eternal emotions of longing, separation, and loving goodbye. On July 17, 1955, Walt Disney beamed as he rode the Disneyland train on opening day. This historic moment marked the beginning of Disneyland, where imagination and dreams come true. In March 1938, German soldiers and officials tore down the border fence in the Anschluss, symbolizing the annexation of Austria into Nazi Germany. This was a major milestone that paved the way for World War II.